Hi, everyone. This is Tessa Ventulin with News Channel 13. We're going to start here with breaking news. I'm sure all of you heard this. We broke it this afternoon on the air. The Albany Empire has officially been kicked out of the National Arena League after the owner, Antonio Brown, failed to make several payments to the league, about $21,000 worth. I'm joined now by sports director Roger Weiland. And Roger, I mean, one, did we see this coming? Is anybody shocked at this point? And what's next for the team?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's shocked. And thank you, Tessa. I think if you talk to Chris Siegfried, who's the commissioner of the National Arena League, this has been building for a while now, and they've been kind of hoping that Antonio Brown would grasp the being an owner of a team and being responsible for things that he needs to do as an owner. And unfortunately, not paying your league dues is a no-no. And when you don't pay your league dues for April, May, and June, and you're given a deadline. So yesterday they told Antonio Brown, you have until noon today to pay $21,000. And there was no phone call at noon. He did not do what he was supposed to do. And they had a meeting with the rest of the owners, and they voted unanimously to kick the Albany Empire and Antonio Brown out of the league.
And you haven't been able to reach Antonio Brown yet.
No, I have not. Now Siegfried did say that they did finally call Antonio Brown at 12:30, a half hour past the due date. But when Antonio Brown called, he basically wanted them to show him what the other owners have done. Like, he wanted to make sure all the other owners paid their dues on time. And then if that was the case, if they paid their dues on time, then Antonio Brown would think about, according to Chris Siegfried, he would think about paying his dues.
And this is part of the rules, is to pay your dues if you're in the NAL.
Correct. And when you don't, then the other owners have to pitch in to pay for what you're not paying, because the league operates on a budget and you have to have your dues paid. So when AB's not paying his dues, that owner is costing this owner, and this owner of the other teams more money. So they were in an uproar, and they want to know why Antonio Brown is getting preferential treatment. And not only that, but there's been other things that have come up throughout the course of the year. And they were trying to give AB every benefit of the doubt because they like his name, right? Antonio Brown, and they want him to succeed. Unfortunately, he just could not get over the hump on the ownership part of it. He needed help in the front office. And he never really had a front office, like a true general manager or somebody to tell him, like, you need to pay this $21,000 now, or we're going to be out of the league. Never did he have that true front office. And I think at the end of the day, that hurt him.
Yeah, unfortunately it did. And I think a lot of Albany Empire fans, longtime Albany Empire fans, are upset, especially the ones that have season tickets. So I know you went on the air earlier today, and the Albany Empire and MPP Arena are going to be reimbursing the tickets that they didn't get to.
Everybody will be reimbursed. And then we talked to Bob Belber, the general manager of MVP Arena, on News Channel 13 Live at 6. That was an exclusive interview with Bob, and he told me that there will be another team here in 2024. Don't know who the owner will be. It might be from another city that is struggling in that city, but they want to relocate to Albany because the history, when it's done the right way, we support Arena Football League, and we do support it, and we will put fans in the seats. So he said there'll be another team here in 2024, and I'm hoping that comes true.
And you'll have that full interview live at 9 on My4, and then live at 11 on News Channel 13. We're looking forward to that one. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens here the next couple of weeks, see how it plays out, see how, maybe if AB responds, we don't know. We'll just.
It's been a lot of chaos since March. I mean, as you know, you've been following it too. We all have been. It's been nothing but chaos since March. It's been one story after another. And unfortunately, it ends probably on the upcoming game, where it certainly looked like Antonio Brown was going to play on Saturday night. And wouldn't it have been cool to see a 7-time NFL Pro Bowl wide receiver playing in the Arena League game? He stiffed the fans a couple of weeks ago. You were with me on that night when it didn't work out. But he practiced this week, and I think there were plenty of fans that were going to go and really convinced this time. And he had me convinced again.
He had me convinced too.
That he was going to play. But we don't have to worry about that now because they pulled the plug on the rest of the season.
Yeah.
There'll be no more football.
I don't want to hold you up for too much longer. I know you got to get ready for your show. But the one thing I do want to ask you, we've been talking about this in the newsroom a lot. We haven't really addressed it on air too much. But has the mental health aspect of it played into the Albany Empire? I know Antonio Brown has had some health issues in the past. Has this played into it at all?
I mean, listen, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to go deep into knowing about that end of it, but there are times when you have him saying one thing and then another and doing this and then not following through on that. There does seem to be some confusion sometimes with how Antonio Brown rolls, and can he get that straightened out? And that's why I think he would have been better off here, right? Just going out and doing what AB does best, and that is mingle with the fans and go to the high schools and go to the NCAA tournament in March and hold court with all these people. And he loves doing that, and he's really good at it, and he's really a likable guy.
And the fans love him. I mean,
and
all
the
these
fans
little
love
kids
him. I think
love him at the games.
They do, and I think that gets lost in this. Like, if you go to these games, and you were with me that night, you see even
he's
that
out.
night,
He's out with the fans. Everyone's
so upset that AB's not playing. Yeah, but look at what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's holding court in the end zone. Everybody's loving on AB. It's too bad he couldn't just be AB mentally. I think that's what he really enjoys doing and not have to worry about everything else. But when you become the majority owner of the team and you want to make all the decisions, it's unfortunately it all falls in your lap. And there were some decisions that were just, they were poor decisions, and not paying hurt AB in the long. You have to pay people. Like, you don't pay your restaurant bill, and then you pay it, and you don't pay your child support, and then you pay it, and you don't pay your league dues, and you miss the deadline, and you've got owners in an uproar all season long. And Chris Siegfried has given you plenty of opportunity to get this straightened out, and they have a meeting, and it's a unanimous vote that we are done with Antonio Brown, and he gets kicked out of the league.
Yeah. All right. Well, you'll have much more starting live at 9 on My 4. Roger, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you then.
You got it.
All right, let's move on now. We got some more breaking news. We had Dan Levy was following this story. It's about a breaking news story on the police telling us that Jeffrey Cody, the man that's accused of stabbing his ex-girlfriend, well, he was found dead in Savoy area. Let me get some video for you so you know what this man looks like. This is Jeffrey Cody right here. And they say that Cody fled to his home in Savoy after the attack. Police were not able to find him there. This morning, the Massachusetts State Police Special Emergency Response Team returned to his house for just one more search. They say after about 2 hours of searching, a member of the team discovered his body, believed to be Cody. Police say there was no evidence of foul play and that his body will be taken to the chief medical examiner. The victim of the attack has been released from the hospital and fortunately is in stable condition. Again, this was breaking news. Dan Levy was out on this story last week when they were looking for him, when there was a manhunt still for him, and there was a bunch of law enforcement. And again, state police saying that Jeffrey Cody, the man accused of stabbing his ex-girlfriend last week, has now been found dead. And I want to move to a little bit of a lighter note. Do you remember that story from last week that we broke? Sabrina Dami broke this story about the Philip Schuyler statue. Well, there was a time capsule found last week, and some of the contents are going to be put on display. There's some of the video that we have for you. And it's interesting to see all of this stuff. Everyone was involved in this. Everyone wanted to know about this time capsule, what was in that box. Now it's on display today inside Albany City Hall. On display were the American flag with 48 stars, an atlas with hand-drawn colored pictures, books, and dozens of letters. Also inside that box, instructions on who was responsible for figuring out where all the executive officers of the city of, where all the artifacts will go. And it said in that letter that whoever is the mayor or chief executive officer of the city of Albany will be responsible for that. And that is Mayor Kathy Sheehan. And she announced today that all the items will go to the Albany Institute of History and Art. So that's kind of an upside to today with all this breaking news. We have that time capsule that you can see on display. Very cool thing there. Coming up on News Channel 13, live at 9 on My 4 and live at 11. More from the Albany Empire and Antonio Brown. Again, no games for the rest of the year. They had 3 more games, and that's not going to be happening over no payments made to the league, several payments. And then we'll have more about the Jeffrey Cody, the man found dead after allegedly stabbing his ex-girlfriend. And we're going to have weather with Rachel Teedy. She's also your anchor tonight. And they're could be some rain in the forecast tonight. We have a code orange in place, so make sure to watch that as well. And that does it for us here on 13 Now. It is now 8:23. Show starts in just a little over a half hour. It's June 15th here on Thursday. I hope you guys all have a great night, and we hope to see you on our newscast.